What's going on, guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of my F1 2019 career mode for you guys today here on the channel. We are here for the Mexican Grand Prix, and as you can see, we're going straight on into qualify. The reason for this is because I decided to do a bit of a test for this weekend. Now, apparently, if you simulate practice, what it will do is every single practice program, it will pass it for you, and you get a free, like, 300, 400 resource points. So I tested it, and it turns out it was true. Only problem with that is I now had no practice for this weekend. I didn't run any practice programs. I didn't get a feel for the circuit and if I was comfortable or not. So qualifying was my first indication of that. And while my indication was I was alright, I wasn't super fast. Felt better than Japan last time around. But despite that though, I still came across the line in P17. So that is absolutely fantastic. Really, really bad. So, on that front, as you can see, we're knocked out in Q1. Lando Norris making it through into Q2. Actually, the grid was really tight. I was only a second shy of the top man, Charles Leclerc, but it still wasn't enough. There's a couple of medium tyres that failed to make it through alongside myself. So that was a bit embarrassing, but well, it is what it is, you know. Obviously, we are going to go through quite a tough stage with this McLaren for the next couple of races because I am no longer upgrading this car because I'm saving it all for next season. That is my plan for anyone that's like considering or what am I going to be doing. I will be staying at McLaren. It's just a case of, you know, making sure we get the upgrades on.
The air may be thin here in Mexico City, the atmosphere is anything but. The crowd have been chanting and singing, not just this afternoon, but throughout the entire weekend. There's a great love for Formula One here, and no small amount of expectation. Let's hope today's Grand Prix can meet it. The Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, 2.6 miles of track that allows drivers to take full advantage of their cars, reaching speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, and providing lots of opportunities for overtaking. The circuit features 17 corners, 10 to the right, and the remaining 7 going to the left. Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Thomas. They're starting towards the back of the field today in a car that is fast, so they'll be disappointed, won't they?
It's not a nice feeling, I promise you. They've got a quick car underneath them, but they've got onto the grid today and they need a pair of binoculars to see the start lights. They'll be desperate for a good start to make up for some of that deficit.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Vettel, Valtteri Bottas, and Sainz, Perez, Butler, Grosjean, and Kimi Raikkonen. Weber, Norris, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Russell. Thomas, Hülkenberg, Alexander Albon, and Robert Kubica. Magnussen, they've taken a grid penalty, and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot today. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Alright, so as you can see, we're on the grid here to start the Bahrain? Why did I just say Bahrain? Okay, I'm clearly not with it today. I'll tell you why I said Bahrain is because I have literally just finished recording Season 2 of Bahrain as I'm recording this. That's why. We're here for the Mexican Grand Prix, should we say. Obviously, for the race, they wanted me to start with the soft tyres and then go to 2 sets of mediums. I decided to just save my soft tyres for the end of the race and have some fun at the end. And basically do a Singapore-style strategy. So, we're on the grid, then we've got 5 red lights here, and it is going to be lights out. Here we go here to start the Mexican Grand Prix. Got it right this time as we get off the line. Actually, again, you can see we've got one of the Toro Rossos trying to have a look at us as we breeze down the straight now. The really, really long straight here. I think Hamilton leads up front. He does, but it's Hamilton. Bottas trying to go around the outside as well. Meanwhile, for us, I think we're actually losing some places here as we've got one of the Red Bulls. I think that's Gasly, actually. It's Pierre Gasly that starts last. As meanwhile, for us, it's just a massive cluster of cars. But I don't think we've done too bad off the line there as Hamilton getting swamped, I think, by one of the racing points there, which is quite fascinating. As we make our way now in towards turn 3, I think that's Hülkenberg going for an absolute dive bomb and a half, and there's literally like 4 wide into one corner. Not really going to work out. Hülkenberg gets shoved wide. It's still 3 wide there between myself myself, Robert Kubica and Giovinazzi, then I get shoved wide. But onto the track again. I am just going to about get in front of the Williams car there. Go down the inside, and that is cementing my position there. So I think we gained a couple of places off the start, not as many as I normally would have liked, but at the end of the day, you can't gain everything off the start as we now fly on through here, trying to catch up to that Alfa Romeo car, and you can see there that Kubica not really going to be a threat, has a look there on the inside, but that's because he was defending from the Renault cars. We now try and go down the inside of Giovinazzi into the stadium section here, not a place where you see overtaking normally. On this occasion as well, it didn't work out for us. We have to just settle back. And I actually went a little bit wide on the exit there, which is going to compromise me slightly by that Williams car. But we've got good straight line speed still in this McLaren. Not as much as our competitors at the moment, because of course our competitors are still upgrading quite heavily now as we fly on through here and we make the overtake stick on the Alfa Romeo. And that is us up. I think it is 15th or 14th place. I genuinely don't know. I never do at this point. 13th. Okay, better than I expected. That can only mean good things. Lap 2 of the Grand Prix now, and we're onto the back of Kimi Raikkonen. There's a little train here that is being held by one of the Renault cars, so it has to be Sergio Perez, because Hulkenberg is a bit further back, so Sergio is holding up a little bit of a train here as we try and overtake Raikkonen, go a little bit wide there actually, but we're going to try the same thing as we tried on Antonio Giovinazzi in the Alfa Romeo, and it didn't work out the first time around, but with Raikkonen, somehow it worked, so yeah, kind of pleased with that, I guess. Wasn't really expecting it to work, but now as you can see we're onto the back of the other Toro Rosso car, which is my former F2 teammate Lucas Weber, who is the most pointless character in Formula 1 history. But on the straight now you can see, is there DRS activated? No, not yet, but Raikkonen is closing in and he's going to go for the re-attack now on the inside in towards turn 1. We cover that one off quite easily and maintain position in front. Meanwhile though, I think Norris here is under pressure now from Lucas Weber, so I said Weber was pointless. He's probably heard me by now and is furious with my actions, or my words, should I say. But I think Norris here is going to bang wheels just a little bit with Lucas. Great scrap between my teammate and Lucas here, and I'm just sort of settling in behind, trying to see if I can find a route through. Weber pretty much secures the position, but Norris gets a better exit on the outside of the hairpin there. And Lucas now in towards this high-speed section here. Lucas now gets shoved wide a little bit, and then I make a little bit of contact with Lucas, and eventually I do get through. So we managed to overtake Lucas Weber, so thanks Norris for that one, because if it wasn't for Lando Norris, probably wouldn't have made that overtake stick. Meanwhile, though, you can see that Norris is making some great inruns. We've got a yellow flag up ahead here, and that's Charles Leclerc. Wow, that's a big retirement there. Charles Leclerc out of the Mexican Grand Prix there, and that's a big one because he was on such a roll recently, and that's really not going to help him out now. Meanwhile, for us, though, Norris is just making some great progress right now. He's onto the back of Grosjean next, and I tried to see if I could try and sneak my way through, but Norris didn't quite carry the momentum through. But this time around now, we have got DRS here. In fact, both McLaren's got DRS here, so the orange cars are going on the attack against the Haas car of Romain Grosjean, and we make it through. I had a little look to see if I could pass Lando Norris, but there was no point. Now I'm side by side with Romain Grosjean, but I'll have the outside line. The better exit here. Grosjean will try on the inside line, but I'll block it off. And yeah, the two orange cars making lovely progress. Nice inter-team work here between myself and Lando. And now on to lap 6 of the Grand Prix, though. Grosjean is still, unfortunately, just in my DRS range. He's a little bit further back than we probably would like, but unfortunately he has got that DRS, and now we're under pressure here because Raikkonen is also going for an attack on Grosjean. That's going to leave us 3 wide in towards the first corner. Grosjean on my outside, Raikkonen on my inside. I decided to pinch Grosjean on the outside to give me a better run and to compromise Raikkonen's line, and that's going to allow me to pull away slightly now as those lot continue onwards. If you're ever in a 3 wide moment and you find yourself in the middle of the track, always defend heavier against the driver on the outside because they're going to get the best run through there. That's my tip that I would give if you wanted to try and learn in terms of 3 wide moments. However, though, I've got Kimi Raikkonen now on my backside here, so he's still not giving up without a fight, and you can see my front wing a bit damaged there. Meanwhile, for Raikkonen, though, absolutely flies past. There was nothing really I could do about that. He was in the Alfa Romeo car, which obviously on a long straight like Mexico was a little bit embarrassing for myself here as I now try and find my way back past Kimi. He's got DRS on the second straight here, but this time I've got the slipstream, and I'm going to use some engine modes here to try and pass Kimi once again as we go to the outside line here of turn 4. Switch it to the inside. Bit of contact made there as my back end goes a little bit AWOL, but now I'm to the inside line of this double right-hander. We get the move done on Kimi, shove him out wide, and then eventually he'll slot back into my slipstream, which he does, and we make the move stick back up into P9, which is a little bit frustrating because I'm trying to catch Lando Norris right now. Speaking of Lando Norris, I caught him lap 10 of the Grand Prix. We're onto him now, but again, look, It only took us a lap to catch him, and obviously with my medium tyres starting to get even better and their soft tyres getting even worse, it's only going to help me out. But now we're at a stage of the Grand Prix whereby me and Norris, we've done some great teamwork to get through the field. Now I don't want to be friends anymore. Let's go for the attack as we go towards the inside into turn 1. Norris actually does a great job. He outbroke me, but that meant I could just switch back, get a nice cleaner line for the exit of 2 and 3, and we're up into 7th place with Sergio Perez now, the next car up the road. So let's see if we can try and catch up to him. And then we've got the 2 Sport Pace, Carlos Bullsack Racing Point Formula 1 teams to deal with as well then. But on to lap 12 of the Grand Prix. This is our scheduled pit stop lap now, so we're going to see if we can try and get on with it. So yeah, in come to the pits now we go, and yeah, we're going to fit on another set of the medium tyres, and then we're going to take those to about lap, can't remember how many laps are even in this race, so we're going to take them to the lap when I come back into the pits again, just so you know I'm always correct on that front, and then we're going to go in for a set of the soft tyres. That is the aim, and it means that we can just be nice and speedy in the final stint, which is going to be a lot of fun for me. So yeah, pretty much like I said, it's the reverse of it's the Singapore strategy once again, 2 mediums and softs. As you can see though, Lando Norris does get in front of me once again. Of course he did do the undercut, so that's expected, so I'm not concerned. My only concern though is that as I completely cut the corner there, once again my tradition when I come out of the pits is I don't realise how much grip I've got and how later I can brake, and I cut the corner. What's concerning me though is Norris is on a fresh set of soft tyres, so he's got better tyre wear than me in this race, because I couldn't do 2 sets of softs in this race. I just don't think that was possible. But for Norris though, seems like it is. Anyway, we're going to see if we can try and attack him now. Raikkonen also gets back in front of us as well, and he must have done a much bigger undercut, than us. So we set a new personal best lap here. Now we open up the DRS here to attack Lando and also Kimi. It is again, we're going to have to work as a team here, myself and Kimi Lando Norris, because the 2 McLaren cars go for the fight here on Kimi Raikkonen. I'm going to go deep to the inside line here. Yellow flag, I think, but further back there. But meanwhile, for myself, I managed to go around the outside of Norris here, make the move stick, and that is us up now into 8th place once again. And I'm going to go on the attack as George Russell retires from the Mexican Grand Prix. But it's again, both McLaren cars are just destroying the opposition. I'm telling you, teamwork makes dream work. And I'm with the meme lord, so I'm fine. For us, though, I don't even know where I was going with that anymore. Perez is up ahead. Let's just go with that, shall we? We're not even catching him. We're actually falling behind from him. Norris, however, has decided to take a note out of my book now. Because when we both got past all the grid the first time, I breezed past Norris. This time, Norris is going to breeze past me and say, thank you very much. I remembered what happened last time. Up yours. And he's now up into 8th place. Now he can catch Sergio Perez. But at the end of the day, I was also thinking to myself, should I really be fighting Norris, as I got a much better run through turn 2 than I thought on Norris. He's on the soft tyres. He's on a faster tyre compound. If he can close up to Sergio Perez and I could try and keep within DRS, then we could have some fun. But annoyingly, I could see that Perez was still pulling away. So it was quite clear to myself a few laps later that Lando and myself were going to be fighting for what would be an effective 8th place. So at this point now, I got bored of staying behind Lando Norris. And once again here, Lando defends to the inside line. But we go to the outsides. Comfortable move there. And that's us up now into 8th place once again. Lando, though, is going to come in very, very soon for a new set of the medium tyres. He's going to get yet another undercut on myself. But again, later on in the race, I'll be on the soft tyres where I can push. Speaking of that time where I'm going to be able to push, Norris has already come into the pits, but you can see that the front runners have now come in for a new set of them medium tyres to go to the end, and I'm sort of caught in the way of it all as Bottas makes a good overtake on myself, locks up though on the front right tyre, but it's okay for him. And lap 25 now, Verstappen says, get out my way please, and I kind of have to oblige, even though I'm fighting Verstappen in the championship, funnily enough. I don't have the pace around here to beat Verstappen, so I'm just going to have to obviously let him through. And really in this stage of the race, like, I could go ahead and fight these guys heavily, and it'd be a lot of fun for me, but I'm in a race with Norris. Like, if I was in a race with these guys, then of course I'm going to go all out and defend against them, but I'm not really in a race. They're on fresh tyres. What is a bit concerning though is Hamilton's got DRS here. I've got DRS. I'm in overtaking Rich Mix. Now we're both closing up heavily on Verstappen here. I don't really want to be passing Verstappen again, so I lift off on the brakes a little bit to allow Verstappen and Hamilton to fight, kind of. Maybe I should have just swooped around the outside and claimed the place and made them overtake me. Like I said, I'll keep fighting these front runners as long as I know that I'm not going to lose a horrid amount of time in doing so. That Verstappen once again here is under pressure now because I've got DRS here. But again, not going to fight that. And as you can see, lap 26 of the Grand Prix, you can already see how the guys are pulling away up front. In fact, the Racing Point cars are also closing in on my tail. And I haven't even stopped yet for a second time. So that kind of confirms there that we are a long way back. But there, I believe, is that. Yeah, that's Lando Norris there. So we have got quite a bit of a way to go if we're going to catch Lando Norris. In fact, the gap's going to be quite large, actually. If I come in now for a fresh set of softs, he's now just crossed the start-finish line now. So, yeah, we've actually got a bit of a distance to close on Lando. But like I said, we now have soft tyres. We just need to get on with it. Sergio Perez, though, has lost out in this middle stint here because he was in front of me and Lando by quite some margin, but he's coming for the hard tyres. I don't think that was what they intended. I don't know if he had some damage maybe or something, but I wouldn't have expected him to come in for hard tyres, but he has done. And now you can see we've got Norris on mediums, I'm on softs, and Perez on hards. So, yeah, nice mixed set of strategies. But now, all the way onto lap 31 of the Grand Prix, I finally managed to catch up to Lando Norris. I was pushing quite hard to do so, and now once again, me and Norris, this little scrap can continue once again. We've been fighting all race long, really, me and Norris. So yeah, as you can see now, opening up the DRS with Rich Mixture and overtake, that to me looked like Lando Norris didn't even bother to defend that one. Like, I absolutely breezed past Lando there, and yeah, like I said, I was using, obviously, Rich Mixture and overtake modes, but for me that just looked like he wasn't really using any engine modes. For us though, on to lap 36 of the Grand Prix, Sebastian Vettel has won the Mexican Grand Prix for Ferrari. Carlos Sainz, you can see up ahead, it's just 5.1 seconds up the road. I didn't have enough time to close that gap down. Closed it quite considerably actually, considering how close they were to me. But nonetheless though, from P17 on the grid, we're going to come across the line and finish in P7, which is a solid result. And also for McLaren, P7 and P8, it was a good race. Obviously, unfortunately though, we did lose out to the Sport Pacer Carlos Ballsack Peggy 3 spscore.com/Racing Point Formula 1 team. But at the end of the day, like we tried obviously, and we got the best from the car that we had. And like I said, our car is going to get a lot worse as this season draws to a close, as other teams will keep upgrading because they will anyway. But for me, like I said, I'm saving my resource points now for Season 2. Hence why I said at the start of the video, Bahrain Grand Prix for no reason. But you can see, actually, overall, it was a great recovery drive from both us McLaren cars, because Norris started in P12 and finished in P8. I started in P15, actually, so I gained places from grid penalties I didn't even realise about. And I finished P7. So really, we did a great job to recover as a team there. In the championship, though, you can see Vettel is now 52 points clear. With just 3 races to go, it's pretty much likely that Vettel is going to win the World Championship. Probably in USA. Verstappen there is now 25 points behind myself. That is who I'm focused on now as we head to USA, obviously, for that Grand Prix. And yeah.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. It's looking like the championship is already won. Do you think there's still time for this to change?
I don't know if she's talking about it to change for Hamilton or for me. I just could go with that.
Do you think you were lucky not to end your race with that crash?
Could you tell me why I crashed, please, and then talk to me? Bitch.
Well, thanks
So I
anyway.
thought, back off, bruv. Anyway, so as you can see then, that is it for this Mexican Grand Prix. If you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you've not yet subscribed already. It would mean a lot to see the support. And the support is continuing to grow day in, day out, and I really do appreciate it. I've been viewing my analytics recently, and they've just been constantly on the rise. I've been looking at all the comments, obviously, as well, and you guys are really supportive, and I really appreciate it. We also got the team bonus goal of completing 8 practice programs, and that's why I simulated practice, because you can get that hard objective very easily if you just do that, because you get a pass on everything. So yeah, on that front though, I don't believe we make any upgrades on any departments. I don't know if there's anything we got left to save as well on the car. I will check and see if we've got anything left to save on the side of things. No, we don't. So as you can see, look, we're losing out to Renault and Racing Point in the powertrain. Everything we're going to focus on is going to come in the next season. Yeah, until then, guys, I will see you for the US Grand Prix, which hopefully should be a lot of fun. So take care all, guys. Peace.